When Rome fell, everyone thought the Roman world was over. But far to the east, half of the Roman Empire was still alive, and it would live on for another 1,000 years. This is the story of the Byzantine Empire, the empire that would not die. Our story begins around the year 330 AD. At this time, the Roman Empire was the most powerful state in the world, but it had a serious problem. The empire was simply too big. It stretched across 3 continents, and enemies attacked from every side. The Roman Empire was huge, but it was hard to rule from one city, so a great emperor named Constantine made a big decision. He built a brand new capital city in the east. He named it after himself, Constantinople. The city sat in a perfect spot between Europe and Asia. It was surrounded by water on 3 sides. This made it very easy to defend and very rich from trade. Then, in the year 476, the western half of the Roman Empire fell. Rome itself was conquered. But the eastern half did not fall. It survived. We now call this surviving empire the Byzantine Empire. The Byzantines saw themselves as Romans. They kept Roman laws and Roman titles. But they were also different. They spoke Greek, not Latin, and they were deeply Christian. The greatest Byzantine emperor was a man named Justinian. He came to power in 527 AD. Justinian had a big dream. He wanted to win back all the lost Roman lands in the west. He sent his brilliant general Belisarius to fight, and it worked. Belisarius was one of the greatest generals in all of history. He won battles even when his army was much smaller. First, he sailed to North Africa and defeated a powerful kingdom there. He won it back for the empire. Then he turned to Italy, the old heart of the Roman world. He fought hard to take back Rome itself. His armies took back North Africa, Italy, and parts of Spain. The empire grew huge again. For a brief moment, it looked like the Roman Empire was reborn. The Mediterranean Sea was once again a Roman lake. Justinian did not rule alone. By his side was his powerful wife, the Empress Theodora. Theodora was clever and brave. She had grown up poor, but she became one of the most powerful women in history. One day, a huge riot broke out in the city. Angry crowds set fire to buildings and tried to remove Justinian from power. Justinian was frightened. He thought about running away to save his life. But Theodora refused to flee. She told him a true emperor should never run. Her courage saved his throne. Justinian stayed and crushed the riot. After that, he rebuilt the city even greater than before. Justinian also did something that still shapes our world today. He collected and organized all the Roman laws. This great collection is called the Code of Justinian. Many modern laws come from it. But Justinian's greatest gift was a building. In the heart of Constantinople, he built a giant church. It was called the Hagia Sophia, which means Holy Wisdom. It was finished in just 5 years, around 537 AD. The Hagia Sophia had the largest dome in the world. People couldn't believe a building so huge was possible. When Justinian first walked inside, he was amazed. He felt he had built something truly divine. For nearly 1,000 years, the Hagia Sophia was the largest church in the whole world. But Justinian's reign was not all glory. Terrible disasters struck the empire. A deadly plague swept through the land. It killed a huge part of the population. This terrible sickness was one of the worst in all of history. Some say it killed a third of the people in the city. The empire was left weak and exhausted. The wars to win back Italy had also cost a great deal of money and lives. After Justinian died, the empire slowly lost much of the land he had won. The dream of a reborn Rome faded. But the Byzantine Empire did not give up. It was incredibly tough. Again and again, enemies attacked Constantinople, and again the great walls held strong. The city had a secret weapon too. It was a mysterious fire that could even burn on water. People called it Greek fire. Enemies were terrified of it. No one knew exactly how it was made. The recipe was a closely guarded secret. Only a few people knew it, and over time, the secret was lost forever. Time and again, huge enemy armies came to take Constantinople. Arabs, Persians, and many others tried. But the mighty triple walls of the city held firm. For centuries, Constantinople could not be taken. The Byzantines were also masters of art. They made beautiful pictures called mosaics. These mosaics were made from tiny pieces of colored glass and gold. They shined like heaven itself. Religion was at the heart of Byzantine life. The emperor was seen as God's chosen ruler on earth. The Byzantine Church was very powerful. Later it became known as the Eastern Orthodox Church. This church still has hundreds of millions of followers around the world today. Byzantine culture spread far and wide. It shaped the religion and art of Russia and Eastern Europe. After hard times, the empire rose again to a second golden age. Strong emperors won back land and made it rich once more. One emperor was so successful in battle that he earned a fearsome nickname. People remembered him as a mighty warrior king. During this golden age, Byzantine missionaries traveled north. They brought their religion and even a new alphabet to the Slavic peoples. This alphabet became the basis of the writing used in Russia and many other countries today. For centuries, the empire stayed strong and rich. Constantinople was the greatest city in the Christian world. The city was a place of wonders. It had a huge racetrack called the Hippodrome. There, thousands of people watched exciting chariot races. The whole city cheered for their favorite teams. The markets of Constantinople were full of treasures from all over the world. Silk, spices, gold, and jewels filled the shops. Traders came from Europe, Asia, and Africa. The city was the center of the world's trade. But then, in the year 1204, a terrible thing happened. It came not from enemies, but from fellow Christians. Crusaders from Western Europe attacked and looted Constantinople. They stole its treasures and burned its buildings. The great city was badly wounded. It never fully recovered from this betrayal. The Byzantines did take their city back years later, but the empire was now weak and poor. It was now just a shadow of its former glory, and a new powerful enemy was rising in the east. That enemy was the Ottoman Empire. Slowly, they took all the Byzantine lands one by one. At last, only the great city of Constantinople remained. It stood alone, surrounded by enemies. In the year 1453, the final battle came. The young Ottoman Sultan, Mehmed II, brought a massive army and giant cannons. The last Byzantine emperor was also named Constantine, just like the founder of the city. He refused to flee. He chose to defend his city to the very end. For weeks, the city fought bravely, but the giant cannons finally broke through the ancient walls. The defenders were few, but they fought with incredible courage. They knew they were defending 1,000 years of history. On the 29th of May, 1453, Constantinople fell. The last emperor died fighting among his people. It is said the emperor threw off his royal robes. He charged into the battle as an ordinary soldier and was never seen again. After more than 1,000 years, the Byzantine Empire was finally over. The last piece of ancient Rome was gone. The great Hagia Sophia still stood. Over time it became a mosque, and today it is one of the wonders of the world. But the Byzantine Empire left a huge mark on history. It protected Europe from invasions for centuries. It saved ancient Greek and Roman knowledge. Many old books survived only because the Byzantines copied them. When the empire fell, its scholars fled to the West. They carried this ancient knowledge with them. This knowledge helped spark the Renaissance, the great rebirth of art and learning in Europe. Without the Byzantines, much of ancient wisdom would have been lost forever. They were the great keepers of knowledge. Their art, their churches, and their faith still live on in many countries today. The Byzantine Empire lasted for over 1,000 years after Rome fell. It was the bridge between the ancient world and the modern one. It truly was the empire that would not die. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe for more journeys into history. Thank you for watching.